I just feel very strongly that all children should be taught to read. She vanished from the palace, and so did her wedding ring. And now royal watchers are asking one explosive question. Did King Charles throw her out? Is the royal marriage on the verge of collapse? Insiders claim tension behind closed doors has reached a boiling point, and the Queen Consort's sudden move and bare finger are raising serious eyebrows. What happened between Charles and Camilla that led to this royal shake-up? Is this the beginning of a historic split, or just a calculated royal cover-up? Stay with us, because what we've uncovered may change the way you see the royal family forever. And that's just the beginning. King Charles and Queen Camilla's heated confrontation. Recently, there have been rumors about unease behind the grand walls of Windsor Castle. Even the most loyal and experienced palace staff reportedly sense that something isn't quite right. King Charles, a monarch deeply committed to preserving tradition, and the carefully managed image of the royal family, is said to be feeling unsettled. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla seems to be growing into her role with remarkable confidence. Her solo appearances and speeches have been celebrated by many, but there's speculation that her independent approach may not fully align with Charles's more traditional outlook. Could this difference in how they see their roles be causing tension between them? Well, let's find. Out-palace insiders claim the cracks begin to show after a private argument between Charles and Camilla, one described as heated. The disagreement reportedly touched on Camilla's growing influence behind the scenes, her input on staff decisions, media strategies, key royal affairs, and a particular interview she granted. According to one insider, there's no room for two rulers in the monarchy. Charles knows it, and Camilla should too. The clash over roles has added another layer of strain. Rumors indicate that Camilla has been taking actions that exceed the limits of her role. As Queen Consort, some say she's been setting up her offices, carving out her press strategies, and even forming what a few have dubbed her mini-court. While some may admire her independence, it appears that her actions have not been well received by Charles. Some sources say Charles, feeling undermined, bluntly told her to leave the palace temporarily. It wasn't a polite suggestion. It was an order, and in response, Camilla allegedly left behind the ring. If true, it wasn't just a gesture. It was a message. Now, this isn't just any ring. It's a family heirloom steeped in meaning. A physical reminder of the love and challenges they've endured together. Such a gesture, if true, would represent a significant shift in their relationship. The suggestion alone has sparked plenty of discussions and debates. Is it possible that such a demand comes from an escalating conflict? Or are media outlets spinning a narrative that magnifies misunderstandings? Furthermore, we have to acknowledge that much of this remains in the realm of speculation. The media is known for building drama, but Charles and Camilla's relationship has faced tougher tests over the years, from the controversies of their early romance to their ability to withstand constant public scrutiny. They have endured challenges that few others could endure. Camilla, known for her independence, even continues to maintain Mill House as her private retreat, a decision that some might see as a reflection of her unique approach to royal life. On the other hand, Charles, carrying the enormous task of modernizing the monarchy while preserving its essence, faces pressures that no other monarch has had to balance before. Are these immense responsibilities feeding into the rumors of tension? It's possible, but with no evidence. It's difficult to say for certain. So what do you think of these rumors about King Charles and Queen Camilla's real troubles in the palace? Or just another fascinating royal story people love to talk about? Road to Queen Consort. To fully understand why these questions are important, we need to discuss the Queen's journey before becoming the Queen Consort. her path to becoming Queen Consort was far from easy. She faced years of public criticism and controversy, often finding herself in difficult situations. But despite the challenges, she stayed strong and worked hard to change how people saw her. She gradually demonstrated her ability to manage the role with grace and determination. Her journey wasn't just about overcoming obstacles. It was about proving to everyone that she could belong in the royal family and support King Charles. Camilla's story is one of quiet strength and persistence, turning doubts into respect and showing how far she has come. Camilla first crossed paths with Prince Charles in the early 1970s, sparking an instant connection that many described as undeniable, yet royal obligations and societal expectations seemed to take precedence over their relationship. In 1973, Camilla married Andrew Parker Bowles, a well-known British Army officer, while Charles, fulfilling his role as the future king, married Lady Diana Spencer in a grand ceremony in 1981. Despite being married to others, the bond between Camilla and Charles remained strong, enduring years of distance and quiet perseverance. By the 1990s, however, their private relationship was thrust into the glaring spotlight, leaving Camilla to face intense public scrutiny when the world learned of their affair. Camilla wasn't simply considered Charles's companion. She was vilified as the other woman. Media outlets turned her into the subject of relentless criticism, accusing her of shattering Diana's fairy tale marriage and branding her a homewrecker tabloid. Headlines were ruthless, dissecting her every move and tarnishing her reputation. Camilla, unaccustomed to the scrutiny, withdrew from public life. She navigated the storm of negative press with quiet dignity, refusing to retaliate or defend herself publicly. Her resilience during this challenging period foreshadowed the strength she would later show as Charles's lifelong partner after Princess Diana's sad death in 1997. Things slowly began to change. Charles and Camilla's relationship became more public, and the royal family began a careful campaign to reintroduce Camilla to the world. It wasn't an effortless task. Diana's legacy loomed large, and the public was far from forgiving. Camilla took small, quiet steps to show she wasn't trying to replace Diana. She was simply someone who loved Charles and wanted to contribute to the monarchy in her own way. Charles and Camilla's marriage in 2005 marked a significant turning point in their lives. Their marriage served as a symbol of resilience and love that triumphed over all challenges. Camilla became the Duchess of Cornwall, but she chose not to use the title Princess of Wales out of respect for Diana's legacy. Instead, she focused on proving herself through action. She threw herself into royal duties, championing causes like literacy, animal welfare, and domestic violence. Prevention, her down-to-earth attitude, and genuine commitment started to win people over slowly transforming public opinion. Then in 2002, everything changed again. Queen Elizabeth II passed away, and Charles became king. Suddenly, Camilla was no longer just the Duchess of Cornwall. She was Queen Consort. It wasn't a title she took lightly after years of controversy and hard work. She finally earned her place by Charles's side, not just as his wife, but as a respected figure within the monarchy. But now whispers of her mysterious disappearance have added an unexpected twist to her journey after years of proving her place in the monarchy and earning public respect. Her sudden absence has left many wondering, what could have caused this? Is Queen Camilla losing her influence? Queen Camilla's influence and the public's perception of her is a tricky subject. There's no denying that her journey hasn't been easy, especially with Princess Diana's shadow still looming large. Many still view her through the lens of past scandals, and reshaping her image has been a constant uphill battle. Meanwhile, her approval ratings have improved over time, but she remains one of the less loved members of the royal family. Recent polls show that while nearly half of Britons have a favourable view of her, a sizable portion still hold on to negative impressions. For those loyal to Diana's memory, Camilla will always be tied to the controversies of the past, no matter how much she works to champion worthy causes. Her connection to Diana and Charles's history keeps pulling her back. Furthermore, there's speculation that Charles might be making subtle moves to protect his legacy. Camilla's growing influence behind the scenes hasn't gone unnoticed. Reports suggest she's played a more assertive role in areas like media strategies and royal decisions. Critics, however, haven't taken this lightly in his memoir, called Spare Prince Harry, labelled Camilla as dangerous, accusing her of using media connections to shape her image. Whether true or not, these claims highlight the perception that Camilla's ambition might be rubbing some people the wrong way. The press has also kept a watchful eye on Camilla's role. On one hand, they've spotlighted her charitable efforts and royal duties. On the other hand, they've revisited her past and debated her growing power. This mix of praise and criticism feeds into the public conversation, making her position in the monarchy all the more complicated. As the monarchy continues to adapt, Camilla's influence remains both a strength and a challenge. Her ability to redefine herself and support the royal family is impressive, but it comes with criticism that Charles must navigate carefully. For now, Camilla's journey reflects the delicate balance between tradition and modernity, between public opinion and royal duty, and as Charles works to secure his legacy, the question of her role in that mission lingers in the air, the mystery of Queen Camilla's disappearance. Queen Camilla has always been a key figure in the royal family for decades. She stood firmly by King Charles's side, facing everything from scandals to sharp criticism. From the public, she's been the steady hand next to Charles, smiling at public events, waving to excited crowds, and carrying out her duties with poise. But now she seems to have disappeared, and the silence surrounding her absence is impossible to ignore. At first, it seemed like an anomaly, a one-time absence that would be explained soon enough. However, things took a strange turn when she missed other key appearances in the following weeks. Normally she would stand beside Charles, exchanging fleeting smiles and glances that demonstrated their united front. Now the king is attending events completely alone. Camilla isn't in sight. The sudden change feels unsettling, as though she's vanished without a trace. Social media platforms like TikTok and X have been active in discussions about Queen Camilla's recent absence from public engagements, while Buckingham Palace has stated that she is resting and recovering from a chest infection. Her absence has sparked curiosity and speculation among royal watchers. Some have raised concerns about her health, while others wonder if there are deeper reasons behind her reduced public presence. And then there's the buzz from insiders at Buckingham Palace. According to some sources, Queen Camilla has been spending more time at Ray Mill House, her private residence located away from the palace. This isn't completely out of character, Ray. Mill House has always been her sanctuary, a place where she can escape the rigidity of royal life and enjoy some peace. Is she pulling away because of tension within Buckingham Palace? Or was she sent there after an argument to cool off the questions, hang heavily in the air? Unanswered. The clues are confusing to say the least. On one hand, this could all be nothing more than a coincidence. Perhaps Camilla is simply taking a break from the limelight, spending time at her private home to recharge. After all, she has been extremely busy since Charles ascended the throne, On the other hand, the silence, her absence, and the swirling rumours suggest something far more complicated than Charles and Camilla's royal power struggle. Let's take another look at King Charles, because while Camilla's sudden disappearance has been the centre of attention, the king himself seems to be battling his storm. Wearing the crown is no small burden, and lately it seems to be weighing on Charles more than ever. The stress of modernising the monarchy, persistent family scandals, and relentless public criticism have tested the king's patience in ways few of us can imagine. When one considers the whispers of tension with Camilla, it becomes evident that not everything is well behind the palace doors. King Charles faces numerous responsibilities. Being the king isn't easy. There are events, speeches, rules, and so many people watching his every move. It can get exhausting. But here's the thing some people close to the palace say. It's not just all the royal work that's wearing him out. They say there might be some problems between him and Queen Camilla. Now think about this. If King Charles felt like Camilla was getting more attention than him, or if she made decisions that he didn't agree with, he might have felt upset. Maybe he didn't say anything at first. But deep down the frustration kept building up, until one day he just couldn't hold it in anymore. One person who knows him well said when Charles is pushed too far, he pushes back and he pushes hard. So maybe something big happened between them behind closed doors. And here's where it gets interesting. Right around that time, Queen Camilla went off to her private home, Raymill House. It's her peaceful getaway place. Could it be because of the tension? Maybe she needed space? No one knows for sure. But the timing makes people wonder. So while everything looks calm on the outside, there might be more going on behind palace walls than we think. The ring, a royal mystery, unfolds when a couple has been together as long as King Charles and Queen Camilla. Their story becomes more than just a marriage. It becomes part of history. For years, their love has been tied to the traditions and symbols of the royal family, and at the heart of this connection is a single, sparkling token. Camilla's engagement ring. This isn't just any ring. It's the ring, an heirloom, passed down through generations, of royalty once belonging to the Queen, Mother Queen. Elizabeth Bowes Lyon, the mother of Queen Elizabeth II, and the grandmother to King Charles III. A woman celebrated for her strength and resilience. This stunning diamond carries more than its worth in gold and jewels. It represents tradition, commitment and love. But now whispers are swirling that something may have changed. Rumours have emerged that Camilla has stopped wearing the iconic ring. Or worse, she may have returned. If for a piece so full of meaning and history, the idea of it being removed from her hand has sent shock waves through royal watchers and fans alike. If true, what could drive such a decision? Is it a sign of tension? Is it a silent protest? Could it be a subtle protest? Or something more profound? Could the absence of this ring signify the beginning of a royal divide? One that might shake the very foundation of King Charles and Queen Camilla's marriage? Or is it the most strategic silence in royal history, hiding a secret bigger than we've ever imagined? Over the years, Camilla's wedding ring has symbolized more than just her marriage to Charles. When Charles placed that ring on her finger, it was an act of defiance against decades of public criticism. He was saying that Camilla was his partner and vital to his legacy and the royal family's future, despite all the challenges they faced, from public disapproval to media scrutiny. That ring signified their bond and endurance. That's why these rumours feel so monumental. If Camilla has indeed removed the ring, it could have far-reaching implications. So why would she remove such a powerful symbol? Some speculate it could be frustration, a response to tension behind the palace doors. Others suggest it might be an emotional reaction to something more personal. Whatever the reason, eagle-eyed fans have pointed out that Camilla has appeared in recent public outings without the iconic ring. Instead, she's been seen sporting a simpler, understated look. Of course, it could just be a coincidence, or perhaps a practical decision. But in the world of royalty, nothing is ever truly accidental. Could the absence of the ring be a deliberate message? A quiet way of hinting at changes that have yet to be spoken aloud, for royals, every gesture carries weight. No detail is too small to escape notice. In this case, the missing ring has fueled intense speculation. Could Camilla be signaling a protest against mounting pressures, or is this a calculated move to draw attention away from personal struggles? One theory making the rounds is that the absence of the ring may be a strategic PR move, a subtle way of creating distance between herself and Charles during a difficult time. Another idea is that it could be deeply emotional, a personal way for Camilla to say, "I need a moment." Either way, this missing piece of jewelry has sparked what feels like a full-fledged royal mystery. What if Camilla's missing ring isn't just a personal statement, but the first clue in a carefully orchestrated plan to redefine her role in the royal family? Could this be the start of a quiet separation, with changes already unfolding behind the scenes, no matter what? The real reason is, one thing's clear. The missing ring has people talking. If the rumors are true, and the royal heirloom is gone, or even locked away in the royal vault, it leaves us all asking the same thing. What does this mean for their future as a couple? Some royal insiders believe this could point to what they call a soft separation, a quiet move, away from traditional roles without making public statements. Others, however, wonder if this might be a private agreement between the two. A symbolic gesture tied to their evolving royal duties. Could this be a way of preparing the public for more significant changes to come? The heirloom might be small, but its absence carries enormous weight for Charles and Camilla. This latest twist in their royal story raises questions about where they stand and where they're headed next. Could this be a sign of deeper changes within the monarchy itself? Only time will tell. Until then, all eyes remain on the Queen Consort's hand, waiting to see if the symbol of her place in history makes its return. Separate lives, separate agendas. Charles and Camilla have always been two unique people, and for years their differences seem to work perfectly together. Camilla is light, hearted, and down to earth, with an effortless wit that charms the public and the press alike. She has a way of bringing warmth and relatability to the royal image. Charles, on the other hand, is serious and formal, deeply rooted in tradition and protocol. He's the embodiment of royal duty. Together, these contrasting personalities created a balance that shaped their public image, a partnership that softened Charles's rigid demeanor while lifting Camilla into the spotlight as Queen Consort. But now it seems those same differences may be driving them apart. According to insiders, Charles and Camilla are reportedly living largely separate lives. The king has immersed himself fully in his role, tackling the heavy responsibilities that come with ruling the monarchy. His schedule is packed with state functions and diplomatic events. Meanwhile, Camilla appears to have shifted her focus to quieter, more personal pursuits. She's spending more time on her book clubs, her passion for animal welfare, and escaping to the countryside. A big piece of the puzzle lies in Raymill House, Camilla's private retreat. She's owned the property for decades after her divorce from her ex-husband, long before her marriage to Charles, and even now as Queen Consort. she's refused to part with it. For Camilla Ray, Mill House is more than a residence. It's a place where she can unwind and be herself away from the constant demands of royal life. Recently, she's been spending more and more time there. No King Charles, no palace staff, just. Her more rumours have surfaced due to the speculation, with some claiming that Charles himself encouraged her to stay at Ray Mill House, to calm the atmosphere at the palace. Others say the choice was Camilla's, a deliberate move to create distance from the pressures of royal life. Whatever the reason, it's clear that this separation feels intentional. It's not just about Camilla spending time at her countryside retreat. It's about two people who once seemed so united but are now leading very different lives. The king remains fully committed to his duties as monarch, while Camilla seems to be carving out a quieter, more independent role for herself. It's hard not to question what this means for their future. Are we witnessing the first steps of a new chapter in their relationship, one defined by distance and personal independence? Or is this simply a brief pause, with both of them returning to the public stage as partners once? Again, the world observes, anticipating whether this royal couple will revert to the partnership that wants to find them, or if they will persist on their separate paths. One thing is for sure: the answers may reshape how we see them both as individuals and as a royal team. This brings us to the question: is divorce really on the table? The drama surrounding King Charles and Queen Camilla is intensifying, with whispers growing louder. Could this be the beginning of a royal divorce? It's a question that feels almost unthinkable. Yet the signs are difficult to ignore, from Camilla's mysterious retreat to Ray Mill House, to the rumours of her returning the iconic wedding ring. The tension between the king and queen consort seems undeniable. However, let's begin by discussing the potential consequences. Divorce within the monarchy is never just a private matter. It's a public spectacle, with far-reaching consequences for Charles and Camilla. It would mean unravelling decades of history, love, and controversy. Camilla's journey to Queen Consort was one of resilience, overcoming public criticism and earning her place by Charles's side. Of course, royal divorces aren't new. The most famous example is Charles's split from Princess Diana in 1996. Their marriage, once hailed as a fairy tale, became one of the most talked about scandals in royal history. Diana's candid interviews and her iconic statement, "There were 3 of us in this marriage," so it was a bit crowded, exposed the cracks in their relationship and brought the royal family under intense scrutiny. Could Charles now find himself revisiting the mistakes of his past, risking another public unraveling? Another precedent is the divorce of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson in 1996. While less dramatic than Charles and Diana split, it still highlighted the challenges of maintaining royal relationships under the spotlight. Fergie's post-divorce actions, ranging from controversial scandals to candid interviews, intensified the drama and demonstrated the complexity of royal separations. Would a divorce with Camilla bring a similar wave of public humiliation? Or would it play out more quietly behind palace doors? That's what makes the prospect of Charles and Camilla's divorce so unique. The timing: Charles is now king, and Camilla is queen consort. A position she fought hard to earn a divorce now would raise questions about the monarchy's stability and their future. Roles: would Camilla retain her title? Would she fade into the background, much like Fergie did after her split from Andrew? Or would she continue to play a role in royal life, albeit from a distance? Could this create a constitutional crisis, shaking the very foundation of the royal family's image? The palace, as always has been, spinning things quietly. Official statements have been scarce, leaving the public to speculate. This silence is a classic royal strategy. Let the rumors swirl while maintaining a calm, composed exterior. Is this a sign of control or evidence that the palace itself is struggling to contain the narrative? Some insiders suggest that Charles is setting a boundary. He asserted his authority as king and resolved tensions that had been simmering for years. Others believe this is simply a temporary rift, a moment of distance to let emotions cool. Royal watchers have their theories. Some speculate that Camilla's retreat to Ray Mill House is a sign of growing independence, a way for her to carve out her space amidst the pressures of royal life. Others believe the missing ring is a symbolic gesture, signaling a shift in her relationship with Charles. Could Camilla be stepping back voluntarily, or is she being strategically sidelined by a king, determined to take full control? Think this is part of a larger plan to redefine their roles in the monarchy. So is divorce really on the table? It's hard to say the signs are there, but the answers remain elusive. What's clear is that the next steps for Charles and Camilla will shape not only their future, but also the future of the monarchy itself. If this is the beginning of the end, will it be handled with the grace and unity the royals strive for? Or will it become a scandal too big to contain? Whatever lies ahead. One thing is certain, this chapter in their story is far from over. What's next? So here we are. Queen Camilla has been keeping an unusually low profile. King Charles seems distant, buried in his duties and recovering well from his health challenges. And the palace. As always, the palace remains silent, concealing its secrets behind gilded gates. All of this leaves us asking one unavoidable question. What happens next? The monarchy's future is feeling shaky right now, with Charles and Camilla's situation being the hot topic. Some people think this is just a rough patch, a bit of tension that could blow over with some private conversation and time to cool down. After all, their relationship has faced its fair share of ups and downs over the years, and this can be considered another bump in the road. But others believe this could be the start of something bigger, like a quiet separation if things are worse than they look. Maybe Camilla will step back from her royal duties. She might retreat to her home at Ray Mill, choosing a more private life and slowly disappearing from the public eye. Whatever happens, this doesn't just affect Charles, Camilla. How might this impact Charles's reign, or even Prince William's future as king? For now, everyone can only wait and wonder. Do you think King Charles kicked Camilla out? And most importantly, who will take her place? If Camilla steps back, please share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to like, subscribe, and click on the next video on your screen.